deep history of filter coffee. In Kaffa province in Ethiopia in 850 AD, a goat herd is said to have noticed that goats that ate coffee cherries were generally dancing. But surprisingly, Kaffa is not where the word coffee comes from. By the 15th century, coffee had reached Mocha in Yemen, where it's called kawa, which was a word used for wine. From Mocha, coffee reaches Mecca, and the first coffee shops open for people to gather and play games. And then, of course, religious authorities ban it. But then the Ottoman Empire arrives and says, let's chill, and removes the ban. And the Turks call it kave. And then merchants from Venice discover it and call it cafe, which is the origin of the word coffee. While this is happening, Mocha protects its cherries and does not allow the fruit to be exported, only the roasted beans. So coffee remains expensive. But as legend has it, one Baba Budan smuggles some of the cherries in his hair to India. That is how we got coffee. The Dutch then bypass the Turks, directly deal with the Yemeni, and the first coffee shops open in Amsterdam and London. The Dutch then get greedy and smuggle coffee cherries from Yemen and start growing it in their colonial territories, Java, which is why the logo of the programming language is a cup of coffee. They also established cultivations in Sri Lanka and Suriname. Meanwhile, the French, having gotten some coffee plants as a gift from the mayor of Amsterdam, start growing it in the Caribbean. Then the Brazilians, not wanting to miss out, send an ambassador to Suriname, and he manages to get coffee plants via trade negotiations. I'm kidding. He seduced the governor's wife, got cherries, and that is how coffee production began in Brazil. And thanks to this, finally, coffee becomes affordable. And by the late 1700s, the Boston Tea Party happens, where American freedom fighters dump British tea, actually from India, into the sea in protest of British taxes. And after that, Americans considered drinking tea to be unpatriotic. Thus the American obsession with coffee. Meanwhile, the British turned coffee into a full-blown plantation industry, especially in Coorg and Chikmagaluru. In 1950s, when the government decided to stop running India Coffee House, the fired workers organized under communist leader A.K. Gopalan and took over the outlets. The traditional South Indian davara and tumbler allowed caste-conscious people to drink coffee without their lips touching the vessel. Chicory got added during World War II when coffee was expensive, and it stuck. That is how we got filter coffee.